I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do the leaves on this close-up tree. It's a beautiful autumnal tree overhanging this lake here. And I've done the branches and I've just started blocking in the leaves over the top. They're not quite as sparse as I've done them, but I'm going to build up on it. But I just want to show you how I'm going to do the layers and the techniques I'm going to use to do these canopies. So the brush I'm using is just a pointed, it's a soft brush. Would have looked something like sort of a smaller version of that. It's not any make, I think it just came in a set, but it's just a soft nylon brush, but it's perfect for that, especially having the point. It allows you to get a good leaf shape. And also, if you do what I'm doing with the paint here, and it's it's quite watered down, it allows you to get quite a nice sharp edge like that. And I'm going to go, I'm just using the one colour at the moment, just this base colour, so it's a bit like blocking it in. And I'm just going to build it up, almost sort of doing each leaf at a time, but they're that bit bigger, so it's not so time consuming. But I'm going to build it up with this colour, and then I'll change, I'll put lighter leaves and probably thicken them up a little bit as well as I go. So let me just get this sort of filled up, this area here, and then I'll come back to you when I come to go on to the next step.
Just a dawn away. I keep thinking about that big sky I've seen so many times before, but it's something else today.
Going to start off with a rigger brush. I've mixed in some orange, some cadmium yellow, a bit of dioxine purple, and some burnt umber. There's a fair amount of white spirit in that, but it's still, it's not runny as such. Sort of, you're still able to pick up sort of a nice gloop on the end of the brush. Could probably thin it out a little bit more, but let's see how that looks.
Hiding a fog today. Feel how my memories play on me.
So as you can see, I'm just adding, it's pretty much just one colour at the moment over the top, but I'll introduce more colours once I've done this. So if you consider this one layer, then I'll go over the whole, pretty much the whole tree, or at least where that colour is, and then I'll introduce another colour and then another until finally we get to the finished article.
Can't keep my mind from traveling away with my one true friend. I can't help imagining, recalling what my hands felt. Can't keep my mind from traveling away with my one true friend.
So as I come out to the sort of more outside leaves, the ones that are really catching the light, it's sometimes beneficial to put the paint on a little bit thicker. So use a little bit less white spirit or liquid or whatever medium you're using to thin it, use a little bit less. There's still some in there. And in here I'm using a hog brush, and it's just going on a bit thicker. And because of that, it's got that sort of stippled effect. It's standing proud of the surface. It's not smooth like the rest of it, but that helps to give you just a bit more light on it. I guess what's partly happening is the light is just catching the top of the paint, and it's making it a bit more vibrant than if the paint was flat. That's a little technique for you there. It doesn't have to be dead smooth. A lot of my work is smooth, but generally the foreground, the areas that I want to stand out a little bit more, I will use the paint a little bit thicker. And when you stand back, and especially when the picture is well lit, it really does bring it to life. So that's pretty much most of the sort of warmer sort of browny orangey leaves there. I think now I can go ahead and put on some of the other colours in there, and there's some yellowy greens, some quite vibrant greens actually. I'm going to use, to get that vibrancy in that green, I'm going to use phthalo green. It's like a yellow shade, and it's really acidic. It's quite strong, and I'll mix it with that yellow that's there, and probably I'll just go in with some of that white there, a bit more yellow. Let's see how that looks. I'm using that thicker paint again. That's probably a bit greener than it needs to be. Let's go with a little bit more yellow and see how that looks. Yeah, I think the colour's right, but I'm going to change the brush. Move back to the rigger. Let's give that a clean. And I'm going to mix a bit more of the paint so that I can pick it up a bit thicker. I find using this rigger brush, the results are similar, but I feel I just got a little bit more control over it.
Woke up from a dream without a sun. The world was upside down and you were gone. I couldn't see, it's all in me. Still falling in a dream down in me. Waking up in my cold sweat, feel like I am deep in debt without you. I'm sitting up in my lonely bed, wondering what I just said to you. I'm holding back the tide of waterfall. A single drip could make it all come down. I'm reaching up for you, higher and higher.
Just trying to put in a mixture of different colours in this now, just to try and give it a look of, when the leaves are just starting to turn. Well, not even starting to turn really, when they're just finishing turning. Let's probably more like it.
or where I'll stay. Please say you'll be here with me. Still walking in a dream down in Maine. Waking up in my cold
So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. It's a little bit less saturated than the photograph was, which I think makes it look a little bit more realistic. And I'll probably will put a little bit more on there once I've sort of worked in the foreground a little bit more. There'll be some more sort of branches and twigs and things like that, and I'll thicken up on some of those. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's not a bad effort. But I also might sharpen up on some of these canopies, so I'll put a darker line underneath some of the leaves, just to it gives it a bit more contrast, which sharpens it. But there's not a lot left to do, so I think that's a success.